And welcome back to the Stitch Along. I'm your host, Mikey, and in today's episode, we're going to kick you off on this beautiful Stitch Along together with you. In this particular example, you're going to notice is that there's the same motifs, they're just colored differently, and you're going to find the color breakdown available on our downloadable that you can download. What's really exciting though is that there is a little check sheet that you can just check it off on your list and you can see where everything's placed. So on week number 4, when you're putting everything together, you're gonna know exactly where things go and you can check it off. And it's also an easy way to be able to see the colors. Throughout this whole stitch along, you're gonna be using Caron Jumbo Twirl and with a 6mm size J crochet hook. And without further ado, let's head on into the studio and let's get started. Welcome to the studio, and in today's episode we're going to be doing two things. We're going to be doing the rippling pond hexagon. You can see that it's going to ripple out, and we have a total of 6 of them. 3 are one color, so 1, 2, and 3 are the same color, and 1, 2, and 3 are a different color. And then we're also going to do the rippling pond half hexagon, and you can see them right here. And so there's 2 different colors there, so these 2 match and then these 2 match. And so we're gonna be able to do that. So I just need to demonstrate it one time and then you can just change the colors throughout. And so we're gonna be using on camera today, the Caron Jumbo Twirl. And so half of them are gonna be sky blue ribbon and the other half are going to be here, the canal ribbon. And it's a beautiful yarn and you can see it's going to be really cool. So let's grab our 6mm size J crochet hook and we're going to start with the rippling pond hexagon motif first. So here's our first hexagon that we're going to do. So we're going to be doing 6 in all. So we're going to do 3 in one color, 3 in a different. So we have a nice crochet diagram to be able to get yourself started. I have to caution you as you get further out though, we need to fasten off completely and then restart at a new spot in order for all of it to be able to hexagon itself out, which is not a big deal. So let's grab our yarn and let's begin to start right from the very beginning. So let's play and let's get a slip knot ready. And we are going to chain a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And slip stitch to the beginning chain all the way back here and form the center ring. So just yarn over and pull through, and you have the center ring. When you go to operate then the first round, you want to wrap the straggler around the center ring so it gets stuck underneath, and therefore you won't have to weave that in later. Let's begin round number 1. Let's begin by chaining 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this will count as 1 treble and a chain 1 space. Going back into the center of the ring, put the straggler so it's around the ring and just wrap the hook twice and apply a treble into the center ring again. So pulling through 2, 2, and 2. And then chain 1 and then keep applying these trebles in. So wrap twice and in. So I need you to go all the way around so that you're having a total of 11 double crochets and there'll be chain 1 spaces. But with this chain 4 that you started with in the beginning, because it was chain 5, the first 4 is considered a treble. So you will have a count of 12 of these spokes all the way around. So please do this all the way around and I'll see you at the end of number 1. So I'm coming close to all the way around, so I chain 1 after this one here. If you're running out of space because you're going into the ring, you can just pull on it and provide more space for the center of the ring if you need it. So I'm going to put in my last one. And don't forget to chain 1 after you get that done. So I chain 1. So you should be able to count 12 of these spokes. So let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I need you to slip stitch to the 4th chain up. So we did chain 5, we're only going to go to the 4th, and we're just going to slip stitch through and through, and therefore that'll create that. If you went up over top of the straggler like I did, then you can just turn it around and trim it. Good to go, and you're ready for round number 2. Round number 2, we need to get ourselves to this chain 1 space first. So we're just going to slip stitch on over first, and then this is where our story will begin. You're going to chain 3, which will count as your first double crochet, and you're going to double crochet back into that same space again. You're now going to chain 1 and then jump to the next space right here and put in 2 double crochet. and then chain 1, and then into the next space, 2 double crochet. So please do this all the way around for round number 2. I'm coming up around and I'm just going to chain 1 after the last 2 are in, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. Now here's the thing. You should have 12 groups of 2 that are now going around the circle. So you should be able to count the groups of 2. So let's move on to round number 3. Let's begin round number 3. We have to get ourselves to this next space right here. So we need to slip stitch ourselves across this first double crochet and then into the space. You were then going to chain up 3. That counts as a double crochet, and you're going to double crochet again into the same space. Now you're going to notice is that you have 2 double crochets that are side by side. You're only going to use the first one and apply a double crochet into that space. You're now going to chain 1, and then you are going to skip to the next space and apply 2 double crochet into there first. So we have 1 and 2, and then just use the first one of the next group of 2 only and double crochet, and then followed by a chain 1. So skip to the next space, 2 double crochet to start, and then a double crochet into the first one only, and then chain 1. Please continue this all the way around for round number 3. Coming around on number 3, I have my 2 into the same space, 1 into the first one. I'm going to chain 1 and then just join to the top of the first, chain 3. And let's move on to round number 4 next. Round number 4, we're currently sitting in the wrong spot and we need to slip stitch ourselves to the next chain 1 space. So just come across the tops of the double crochets and go right into the next space, and that's where the story is going to start. So we're going to chain 3, that's your first double crochet, and double crochet back into the same space. This time, see how there's 3 grouped together? You see 1, 2, 3, they're not into the same space, but there's just 3. You're just going to use the first 2 only and just double crochet 1 into each. And then chain 1, and then skip the last one and then go into the next space. So the next space will have 2 double crochet in it first, and just use the beginning 2 of those. So just 1 into the first 2. Okay, and then you're going to then chain 1 and keep on going all the way around. I'm coming back around. Don't forget the chain 1 after you have your last double crochet in, and then just slip stitch it to the top of the chain 3. And that was that round there. Let's move on to round number 5. Round number 5, we're currently sitting in the wrong spot again, and we need to get to this first chain 1 space right here where I'm wiggling my thumb. So we're just going to slip stitch across the tops of the double crochet to get there, and go right into the space to begin. So now we're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and you're going to double crochet into the same spot. And see how there's 4? You're only going to use the first 3. So just double crochet in the first 3 only. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then chain 1, and then skip the last one and go right into the space with 2 double crochet. So we have 1 and 2, and then use the first 3 only. So 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1. Please do this all the way around for round number 5. At the end of number 5, just make sure you chain 1 after this group, and then just slip stitch to the first one right here. Let's move on to round number 6. Round number 6, we need to get to this chain 1 space right where I'm wiggling my thumb, and so we're just going to slip stitch across the double crochet. We're then going right into that space to start, and then you'll chain 3 to begin, and then double crochet into the same spot. So this time you're going to see a total of 5 in the group before the next space. Use only the first 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you're confirmed on your counts and you trust yourself, you can just not count and just make sure you skip the last one out too. So chain 1 and go right into the space and put 2 double crochet in, and then just use the first 4 of the next grouping of 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by a chain 1, and continue that all the way around. This is round number 6. I'm coming up to the end of number 6 here, and I'm just going to chain 1 after I have this group done, and then just slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Let's move on to round number 7 next. Number 7, we need to get ourselves right to this position here. So that's right, we are going to slip stitch ourselves across the double crochet to get there first. And we're starting to see the spiral happen on our sample. So that might be getting you excited as well. You can let me know in the comments. So get yourself there, and then you're going to chain up 3 and double crochet into the same spot. So we're looking here, we can see that there's 6. You're only going to use the first 5, so we're just going to skip this last one like we have been. So just 1 double crochet into the first 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and skip that last one of that group, chain 1, and then starting your next chain 1 space. So 2 double crochet to begin. Okay, and then you see the next grouping of 5, so the next grouping of 6, just use the first 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip that last one there, chain 1, and start over again. So please do this around for round number 7. Coming up around on number 7, don't forget to chain 1 after that last group is in, and then just slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Let's move on to round number 8 next. Let's move on to round number 8. This is the last time we're going to be going in a complete circle as far as keeping it round shape, and then the next rounds after this will be then starting to turn into hexagon. So we need to get ourselves to this first space, so you know what to do at this point. Just slip stitch yourself across. And then come into the space, and that's where you're going to begin. So you'll chain up 3 to start and double crochet into there. So this time you're seeing a total count of 7 of these double crochets. Only use the first 6. So you're going to skip that last one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So skip this last one, so chain 1 first, and then come into the next space, 2 double crochet. So we have 1 and 2, and then just use the first 6 of the next 7 that you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, chain 1, skip the last one, and come right to the next space and continue that around. This is round number 8. Coming around to number 8, I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. So we need to fasten off at this point so that we can start in a fresh spot in the next beginning. So we're just going to trim the yarn. I'm highly recommending that you use a tapestry needle to be able to weave in the ends. So just pull it through to lock it. Turn it to the back side of your motif. So anytime you need to do that on this particular stitch along, just weave in your back, the ends in the back side. So just coming through and just drag it through the stitch work. Don't allow the needle to go through to the good side of the work. Just stay within there. And the best way to really weave in the ends is to make sure you capture plies of yarn, not just going in between the strands. Okay, and so you're just going to weave back and forth a total of 3 times. And when you pull on it, don't change the shape of your motif. So we still have a few more rounds to do. And now that you can understand how this thing is growing out, you really can see the spiraling happening as well. So let's begin round number 9. Let's begin round number 9. Let's start off in any one of these chain 1 spaces. Just pick one. And if you're happy with it, you can even pick the one that you just went over, did the slip stitch with as well. So we're just going to attach your yarn and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. You're now going to work across your double crochets just like you see here, and you're just going to go across and just double crochet 1 into each. So you don't hear me counting because you technically kind of really don't need to count. You just got to look for the visual signs, but if you wish to count, you can find that information on the pattern if you need to. So I'm filling in the spaces, just the double crochets, just like you see. We're now going to hit the first chain 1 space, and we're just going to ignore it and pretend that it doesn't exist, and then jump over and start the double crochet on the other side of it. Okay, so we're just going to fill these all in, and I'm going to get myself to the next space. So you're essentially creating a flat side by doing what we just did, by jumping over the middle like that. We're now into the next space here. So this space is going to be your corner. So we started off technically in a corner, and so this will be our next corner here. So you'll double crochet into the space, chain 1, and double crochet again. You're then going to continue along. So the corner will be over here. So you're going to double crochet across the tops of the next section here. So just keep double crocheting in each. And because it's the middle of a side, you don't want to create a corner with the next space that you have. Okay, so skip this space, go right over to the next double crochet. So you're jumping over and continuing across. Okay, and then here is your next corner, so it'll be a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet into the same spot. So please do this all the way around, and you're going to see this starting to turn into a hexagon, and I'll be right back in a moment. I'm coming all the way around here on number 9, going right into the same space that I started with to create a corner, chain 1, and slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So I would do a quick verification if I were you to make sure that you have your points in. So you should have flat spots, just like you see, and then you got your points on the corners. Make sure that you have the hexagon formation by just taking a quick look at it, and then we're going to move on to round number 10 next. From here on, it's smooth sailing for rounds number 10 and 11. They're both different from each other, so let's just start number 10. We need to get back to this spot right here, so we're going to slip stitch in the previous chain 1 space to begin, and this is where we're going to start our story. So we're going to chain 2, which will count as your first half double crochet, and then you're going to half double crochet in each of the stitches all the way to the next corner. So all the way to this corner here. And in the corners, you're going to put in a half double crochet, chain 1, and a half double crochet, and all the rest of the stitches in between are just going to be half double crochets. So please do this all the way around for round number 10. Coming all the way around, I'm going to half double crochet into the first space that I started with, chain 1, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of the beginning, chain 2. Let's move on to your final round for this motif, number 11. Number 11, we're going to slip stitch back into this space right here, so just slip stitch backward to get back there, and then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. And you're going to apply 1 double crochet in each of these half double crochets here, and then in the corners it'll be 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet into there. So you're going to have this going all the way around. So just start with the very first one. Remember, this is a chain 2, so it kind of looks like it's hidden. So don't forget to use that one, and then just continue to double crochet in every stitch. And in the corners, it's 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Please do this around for round number 11. I want to give you a little mini tip. When you use half double crochet, and depending on which side of the double crochet or the half double crochet that you use, in my case, I always use the space just before. So do you see the space? This one here is part of this one. This one here tends to get buried, so I have to move things out of the way to get my first double crochet in. So just don't forget to do that, because when you come out and you have the one just before the corner, I always use the space just before the post and never the space after. So you have to determine which one you're going to do. So that would be my recommendation. And usually when people, when they're transitioning from a half double crochet to a double crochet like this, it's very easy for them to not realize that they might be skipping a stitch or adding anything extra. I'm finishing up round number 11, coming into my very final space where I started, and I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. This is the end of the journey. This is where you're going to fasten off and weave in your tails, just like I showed you with the tapestry needle. So now what's going to happen is that you need a total of 6 of these. So I have 1 of this color done, so I need to do 2 more of this color, and then I have to jump over and do 3 more of the other color right here in the canal ribbon here in this color. So they're just slightly different from each other, and it's really quite cool. So I'm going to show you the half hexagon rippling pond next, and we're going to begin this. We use video chapters in these videos, so you can just scroll on back and be able to restart this one just in case you need a refresher on what to do. Let's begin the half hexagon next. Let's begin to do the half hexagon, and this is the rippling pond as well. And so you're going to notice that these will ripple out. We're going to be going back and forth in the rows, so we don't fasten off at the end of a row to restart, to continue to go in a continuous revolution. Nice and easy, and let's begin using your same size crochet hook, a 6mm size J, and we need to make a total of 4 of these, so 2 of one color, 2 of the next, and see the pattern for the color breakdown if you need that. Let's begin this motif. Let's begin this motif with the slip knot already on the hook, and let's begin to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and slip stitch to the beginning chain to form the center ring. And as you do row number 1, just lay the straggler down on top of the circle right here in order to hide that underneath. Let's begin row number 1. Let's begin row number 1. You're going to chain 5, which will count as 1 treble and a chain 1 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a treble, and the 5th one is a chain 1 space. In the center of the ring, apply a treble, so wrap in the hook twice, go right into the ring, and trap the straggler underneath that as well. So you need a total count of 7 of these spokes. So chain up 1 and then treble again here. So you're going to technically apply 6 trebles, but with the chain 4 here that you had from the first chain 5, that will give you the number 7. So don't forget the chain 1 in between these as you're going across. So this is done as rows. So once we get to the other side, we're going to turn our work. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm already counting that beginning chain as one of them. Just helps me to be able to zoom through faster, and chain 1 and do it again. So I believe I have 7 spokes that you see, 7 posts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you're confirmed, and if you went over top of the straggler, turn around, get rid of that straggler. And so after this is done, turn your work, and let's begin row number 2. Row number 2, right where you're sitting, you're going to chain 3. And then in the next space right here, you're going to apply 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2. Chain 1 and go to the next space right here and put 2 double crochet in there, followed by a chain 1, and then continue to do that all the way across the semicircle. So just 2 double crochets and a chain 1, and I'll be right back and I'll show you how to finish this in just a moment. So I'm coming around, I've already got my 2 in here between the last chain and this post, and then you're just going to, on the 4th chain up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, you're just going to apply a double crochet right into the chain work, and that'll hold that out. So you should be able to count a total of 6 groups of these 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have this, the double crochet there and there. Turn to work and let's begin row number 3. In row number 3, we're going to start making ourselves into the hexagonal sides, and there's a total of 3 because it's a half hexagon. So before we waited to, we were really big before we did it, but now we're going to start it now for this one. And we're going to chain 3 to begin. And then in your next double crochet here, you're going to apply 2 double crochet in there. And then in the next double here is just 1 double crochet. The next space here is going to have 2 double crochet. The next 2 double crochets right here will have a double crochet each. And it's going to be this next space right here is that we're going to apply a turn, so a corner. So we're going to apply 1 double crochet into that space, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. Okay, so now let's go and we're going to create a flat top side now. So we have the side, we're now going to do the top. So starting in the next 2 double crochet, you are going to apply a double crochet each. The next space, there will be 2 double crochet in there. The next 2 double crochet, there will be a double crochet in each of those. And it's going to be this next space, which will be the next corner. So that'll be a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. So now we're going to complete the final side that we're going to start building out. So the first 2 will be a double crochet each. The next space will have 2 double crochet in it. The next double crochet will just be 1 double crochet by itself. The next double crochet will have 2. And finally, the turning chain will have 1 double crochet right into the very last turning chain. And that was that row. And you're going to turn your work, and we're going to begin the next row now. Row number 4. We're going to chain 3. That's your first double crochet. And the next one will have 2 double crochet into the same stitch. You're now going to provide a chain 1 and skip the next double crochet, and you are going to double crochet yourself all the way to the corner turn. So you can either count it out if you want to, you can look at the pattern for that if you want that, or just look for the next corner that will come up, which is the easiest really. So you go right there, and then the corner is next. And so in the corner, you'll apply a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So to start a fresh side again, you're going to double crochet into the next one, chain 1, skip 1, and then double crochet in all the remaining until you get to the next corner. So the corner is next right here, and so it'll be a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So you'll start a fresh side, so you'll double crochet the first one, chain 1, skip 1, and you're going to double crochet all the remaining except for the second last stitch, which I'll show you in just a second. So we still have to build this out on the flat edge so it stays flat. So you're looking for the second last double crochet, which is next. And you'll put 2 double crochet in there. That helps it to grow. And then in the turning chain, you'll apply 1 double crochet right into the chain work itself. And that was that row. So you're now going to turn your work, and let's begin the next row. Row number 5, chain 3, that's your first double crochet, and then the next one will have 2 double crochets in there in order to keep that flat side flat. So the easiest way to do this is, see this chain 1 space, you are going to go all the way until we get to this stitch before it, so right here. So we stop at the stitch before this last one. So here's the space. We're intentionally going to skip this one. So I'm just going to show you. So we just keep double crocheting then until we can see that space. And that space is the ripple pond work itself. Okay, so there's another double crochet, then a space. So chain 1, skip this double crochet and go right into the space. And now continue to the corner. So in this case, there's 2 double crochets before a corner. So in the corner, you'll apply a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. And again, the same principle. So you're just going to start and double crochet, I guess, until the second last one before the space. So because you're turning your work every other row here, or every row, that positioning changes. And I'll show you that when we get to the next row. So we're going to skip this double crochet, chain 1, and go right into the chain 1 space, and then continue to double crochet until you get to the corner. So now your corner is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then same principle going. So you're just going to start double crocheting, and you're looking for that space. Okay, it's right here. Okay, so there's the space. So I want to skip this one. So chain 1, skip over that one, double crochet right into the space, and then you are going to double crochet into the next stitch. And then this is the second last stitch, so you'll put in 2 double crochet to keep it flat, and then you'll finally go into your turning chain. Okay, so let's turn our work and begin the next row, number 6. So now that we're starting to get this established, it's going to get easier for you to see it. So you're going to start off number 6 here in chain 3 and put 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So you'll be able to see the direction of which the ripples are going into. So the ripples are heading in this direction. So you're going to, as you start this, you're going to double crochet then the next until you get to the space. So go right into the space itself, chain 1, skip the first one out, and then just continue to double crochet the remaining. Okay, so these should all be heading in the same direction. And so we're going to hit our corner just momentarily. Okay, so you go right into the corner, so it's a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet. So now we're looking for this rippling effect right here. Do you see it? So you're just going to start in double crochet, and you are going to go right until you hit that space. So go right into the space, chain 1, skip 1 here, and double crochet there. Okay, come into your corner, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, and we're looking for where that space is right here. So we're going to double crochet until we get to that space. So fill in that space, chain 1, skip the next one out, and double crochet the next. So what do we need to do on the second last stitch? Did you say that we need to put in 2 double crochet? And if you did, that's the right answer. So in the second last one right here, put in 2 double crochet into the same stitch. That keeps it the edge flat. And then double crochet into the turning chain. And then turn your work, and we're ready for number 7. Let's begin row number 7. Chain 3 to begin, and yes, you are putting 2 double crochet into the next one, and we need to look to where that spiral is happening. Okay, and you can see it's going in this direction, so we're going to want to make sure we skip the one after the space in order to keep that direction going. So let's just keep double crocheting until we get close to that space. So to keep the space going in this direction, we're going to continue right until we get to the space itself, fill that in, chain 1, and then skip the first one after the space and go right here to the second one. And therefore it keeps that rippling going in the same direction. So we're going to go right until we get to the corner. And then a corner, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we look again for where this rippling is happening. So we need to keep it going in this direction. So we're going to continue to fill it in with double crochets until we get close to that spot to do an examination of which way we need to go. If you can tell visually on which way to go, it's going to save you a lot of counting. Okay, so I want to continue to go in this direction, so I'm going to fill in that space as well. Chain 1 and skip the first one after the space to continue that momentum of the rippling going out in the same direction. So you'll do this till you get to the corner. So your corner, go right in, it'll be a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in. And now we're looking for the rippling. It's going out in this direction. So let's continue to fill in those double crochets until we get closer. So we're pretty grateful really that there's not a lot of spaces that are here to make it overly complicated. So it's a good, easy repeating to understand this pattern. Okay, so we go right into the space, chain 1, and then we skip the one after the space to keep the momentum of the rippling going in the same direction. So we keep going right into the second last stitch, because what are you doing in the second last stitch? Yeah, that's right. You're putting in 2 double crochet in the second last stitch because you want to keep it flat. So put 2 in here, and then in your turning chain, you'll put in 1 double crochet. Let's turn your work and begin row number 8. Let's begin row number 8. So we're not using double crochets on this round, we're only using halves. So as we begin to do this process, we're going to start off and we're going to chain 2, which will count as your first half double crochet. And in the next one, it's like the double crochet, you just put in 2 half double crochets there. So we're looking to where the momentum is going for the ripple. It's going in this direction. So you can see all sides is happening with that same idea. So you're just gonna half double crochet until you get close to that space. Okay, so I'm here, the space, I want to fill that in with a half double crochet. I want to chain 1, skip the next double crochet out, and half double crochet the next. And that'll keep that going in the same direction. So I'm going to go all the way to the corner. And in this one here, it's going to be a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet into the corners itself. Okay, so here's your corner, so half, chain 1 and a half, and then continue and look where the rippling is going. So let's continue to fill these in with half double crochets until we get close to that chain 1 space. Okay, so we're going to go right into the space itself, chain 1, skip the next one, and half double crochet the next. Okay, so come right in here, chain 1 and half double crochet. So the corner is a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet. So continuing along on the final side, look for where the rippling is going into, and just continue to follow the same rippling effect. So just get closer to that chain 1 space and then you can make a decision, which is the same decision for everybody, but if you can see it, it'll just save you from counting. So go right into the space work itself, chain 1, skip 1, and half double crochet the next, and you can instantly verify that you've gone in the right direction. So what are you going to do on the second last stitch before the end? That's right, you're going to put 2 half double crochets into the second last one, and then in your last turning chain, put in a half double crochet. And turn your work and get ready for number 9. Number 9, you're going to chain up 3. It's your first half double crochet, and then starting in the next stitch here, you are going to then put in 2 double crochet. Then you are going to just look to where direction the spiral is going into. So we're going to have to get and double crochet ourselves close to where that chain 1 space is. And we need to skip the one just before the space. Okay, so we need to skip this one. So chain 1, skip this one, and double crochet into the space. And that keeps that spiraling going out. And then we start going all the way to the corner. So in the corners on this row will be 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Okay, so there it is there. So this is your corner. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then just continue to go starting right here. And you're looking for that chain 1 space. So you're going to skip the one before the space to keep that momentum going in the same direction. So chain 1, and getting close to the space. So this is the one before the space, so I want to skip that one. So chain up 1 and go right into the space with that double crochet. And we can tell that it's going in the same line, and then start double crocheting then to the corner. In your corner is going to be 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, and then start again on this side and looking for that space. Okay, so this is the last one before the space. So chain up 1, so skip this one, go right into the space. You can verify that you're going in the same direction, and then start and continue again to the edge. So the one before the edge will be 2 double crochet into the same stitch, and then 1 into the turning chain when you get there. Okay, so the second last one here is going to have 2 into the same and 1 into the turning chain. And let's turn your work and begin the final row number 10. Row number 10, you're going to start off by chaining 4. This will be a treble, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so that counts as your first treble. And in the very next stitch, there's going to be 2 trebles that share the same stitch. So here's the secret for this row. There's no longer any more spaces, so you're just going to continue to treble into each stitch until you get to that space. So when you get right up on that space, right in the space itself, put in a treble to fill that in, and then continue with trebling in the next stitch so that you're eliminating out those stitches. When you get to a corner, the corners will all be the same for this row, and it will be 1 treble, chain 1, 1 treble, and then continue to treble all the way across, which includes the chain 1 spaces, and I'll see you close to the end of the row in just a moment. When you get close to the end here on row number 10, the second last one, as always, will be 2 stitches into the same. It's 2 trebles in this case. And then you have 1 treble into the turning chain. And this is where this block ends up stopping. So this motif stops. So you're going to want to weave in your ends to be able to finish this off properly. So I've already demonstrated how to do that earlier on in this tutorial. And you see you have a relatively flat edge. So let's talk about what you need to do next, because you need to do a total of 4 of these. So there'll be 2 of this color and then 2 of your other color that you will had, if you're following the color breakdown here. So you can see it's slightly different from each other. And It's also recommending that you get a piece of foam board to be able to pin down the edges. So what you want to do is just do damping. It's called damp blocking. So you're just going to want to pin down your edges to the foam board, and then just kind of put in a wet like dishcloth over top of it, and just let it sit there for a bit, and then just shape it with your pins to hold it. And then you can take that off and let it air dry. So don't soak it completely, just let it get damp, and therefore you'll have this. And you want to do that with all of your motifs with this one here. So once you get all of your hexagon rippling ponds, including these half hexagons, then you can actually get that done, and therefore that'll be ready for joining then on week number 4. And this is a really cool concept, and we hope that you're enjoying, and we'll see you next week as we continue our stitch along together with you. I'm your host, Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. Bye-bye.